Okay, that's enough of that. Hey everybody. Oh, I'm Eric. I'm making a game. It's called the GodKiller. It's a top-down 3D puzzle-solving adventure game. Here I am in my new office, in my new home. I've got my Mac set up. I got a little synthesizer hooked up to my Mac. It's just ready for me to play on whenever I want to. So I can just add like a little bit of mood music to what I'm saying. That's a little morose. Okay. So the structure of these things, I'm going to do a demo and I'm going to get to work. The demo is going to be, sorry for people who don't like this, but it's going to be me singing a song. So let me bring that up. This is a song from the game. I wrote lyrics for it. Doesn't mean that the lyrics are going to be in the game. I'm thinking though I might actually do something where you don't hear the lyrics, but there's like karaoke style lyrics that appear in the game, and if you want to, you can sing along yourself, just like I'm going to do. Okay, so let us bring up this. Turn the volume up. It is up all the way. La 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 la. I'm not gifted with a wonderful singing voice. I do the best I can. La, take on me. Okay. I saw a lighthouse where I could be alone. You saw golden clouds and God sat on his throne. She saw the softest bed, a place to always dream. He saw 100 virgins serving ice cream. Heaven, it must be there for you. Heaven, where they all adore you. Heaven, 'cause you tried and you tried so very tired. Heaven, we want there to be some heaven. And can we come to heaven? 'Cause every home feels like it isn't us. When your brother dies, you know he's going there. And when your mother cries, you show her that you care. We're saying he was good and the good go where? To the best place of all, because it's fair. I'm making fun of you, I can't say what's true. I'm sad and I'm hopeful, life hurts like a kick in the heart. Maybe I'll stay behind while you float away. You go, I can't. And you can say, you tried to show me heaven. It must be there for you, heaven, where they all adore you, heaven. 'Cause you tried and you tried so very tired. Heaven, we want there to be some heaven. And can we come to heaven? 'Cause every home feels like it isn't ours. So what about now? What about right here? How you dealing with those things you fear? That door marked out, you open wide to meet what's on the other side. Heard from someone, you read it somewhere. Felt it down deep that you belong there. It's good, you know, that place, it has to be good. And it has to be heaven. Okay, let's get to work. Let's get it done. I know exactly what I'm doing today. It's real clear to me. It's real obvious. Okay, so an update. From yesterday, I troubleshot what I thought was kind of like a build or linking problem, but it was actually more of a, this library just upgraded to an entirely new version, so my old code that referenced it is entirely wrong. Like way, way off. The new API for ProBuilder uses totally different class names, and I just have to look and see if I can get the old code to work with the new code. I work with the new library, version 4.xx. I'm a little bit on the bleeding edge here, but I wanted to use the latest library that's included with Unity instead of like going backwards a couple years to their older version. Hopefully that decision will pay off for me. Maybe the more risk-averse decision would have been to stick with the old version of ProBuilder, but I don't know. It's hard to calculate risk on these things. Because you know that if you're working on an older version of a library and there's some bug in it, you really can't hope to get it fixed in that old version of the library. It would have to be fixed in the new version. So, going forward, not backwards. Okay. So you'll see me kind of hopping back and forth between the API documentation and my code. I'm going to try to kind of write out a bit of a plan to map some of these interfaces to, or these classes and functions to their new thing. So I know that PB face is no longer a thing. It seems to be replaced by something called face. PB object, I don't know what replaces it now. I'll have to look into it a little bit further. Let me see if there's any other classes. And I'm guessing the reason that it changed so much is that the people who make ProBuilder got into the official Unity engine distribution, and they wanted some consistency with their other APIs. They don't want to have everything prefaced with PB, which is very not integrated with Unity, to have something named PB like that, and it's not even following the same kind of naming convention. So anyways, inside of face, what are the interfaces I'm going to need to map against? Distinct vertices. Well, maybe that's it. Okay, let me try this just to start. So if we say face Oh, okay, so these I want to be GK faces. Okay, let's see what we got here. So this is editor code. I'm not going to worry about. Really? Hold on. Oh. Okay. This is already a collection. I don't need to copy it to an array. Okay, let's see. Another way I could do this, it might be a little bit easier. Okay, I just gotta figure out this part. So what is it? How do I get the PB object? What did that change to? Well, this is derived from mono behavior. That's promising. Is there faces? Oh. Ah. That's it. Okay. See if I can. So I found faces. What does vertex count refer to? Positions array. Okay, now this might be it. Yeah, it's vector 3s. Okay, so this is probably it. Let me try that. This was hard to find, so I don't trust myself to Google it again and get to it easily. So I will leave that comment there. It's likely this code is going to fail when I actually run it, and it will take some more plumbing work to get to a point where I can actually run it and test it. But I give it a 22% chance of working the first time, and I give it a 90% chance of being fixed in the first half hour I play with it. So I'm going to leave it as be for now. I'm also going to leave a comment just in case I forget to do it. After code integrated with the scene, test this, make sure it works. Decoration should test it. I only made MPI changes from PB2 to PB4. Cool. Okay, so then I want to look for every place where face is used. Oh, of course it's going to have all kinds of false matches. That won't help a lot. There we go. Seems to have a hit. Let us see if it builds. That's kind of a nice treat. The lighting kicked in because I left this scene open. So yeah, here's kind of what the game world looks like. A lot of people have not seen it in a long time because I haven't had it up and running. It's this top-down view. It's just relentlessly top-down. And this is the first level of the game. Anyways, so if I hit the console, I like things to run clean. I like them to run clean. Oh, this doesn't matter. This is the old project. So let me just close this project. I just don't need it. Okay. And what matters is the new project. Okay. Console ran clean. This is the thing that I love about this new build setup that I came up with Gamedev files is now I do not have my console cluttered up with all the warnings from the third-party assets building. And the combination of a brand new computer with a full SSD drive and this build optimization means that it's starting up plenty fast. That may change as I bring in more stuff. I've got assets to bring in, lots of assets. Okay. I did the thing I said I was going to do. I did it. And I was prepared for it to take some hours. And it took, how long have I been on? Maybe a half hour. Yeah. 30 minutes and 54 seconds. So it took me a half hour to put that together. And I was expecting it to take longer. And I have a rule that all my sessions I end with the thing that I set out to do done. So I'm going to look for one more small task that I can do in this session and get it done. It's kind of like if you're playing 21 and your hand has got, you know, 11 in it, you should probably hit. You should probably hit again and get another card. Let's just look for it to do. Oh wait, here's another one. Oh, I'm not done. I gotta get this fixed as well. Aha, this is gonna be what I need to do. Okay. So I gotta see what the moral equivalent of that non-existent API is. Can I just do, yeah, okay, that probably works. Show me. Like I said, I want my console to run clean, so I gotta fix it. Deprecated. Face materials obsolete. Please use submesh index instead. Okay. Lack of documentation around this. I mean, it's just like the sort of generated docs, source generated docs, which is fine, but there's no description of the property. It's just like its calling signature has been generated. I mean, has generated the documentation. Submesh index. What's the thing I'm trying to do? I'm trying to check if the material that I'm setting this to is the same as what it already is. And this is editor code. This is editor code. And that means I don't care about performance on it as long as it doesn't slow me down within the editor. This would have been some code that tries to be performant. I don't need it. I'll take it out. Later on I may decide that I need something like that and I can add it in. I love deleting code. Deleting code makes my life simpler and better. Until it breaks something, then I say I love adding code. I love adding code that keeps things safe. Okay. So let me just look through the to-dos again. because playing the game of live coding session blackjack, I think I'm like at 14. It's not a lot accomplished, but if I add one more task, it's quite possible to bust. Quite possible. Okay. This is like drawing a 2. Look at target. And this is one that I can't test out, but I don't need to. Yeah. I can get rid of the editor stuff too. Oops. Pretty good at giving myself little notes of things to come back to. And pretty good at actually keeping promises I made to myself about what I was going to do. All right, I think it's going to be a great stopping point right here. Let's make sure it builds. Okay. Now tomorrow, I'm going to start making this real. I'm going to have to think about how to do it in a nice way. A nice chunky way. Chunky wins. Chunky is like you break large, daunting tasks into a bunch of small chunks and you just do a little bit at a time, because that's all the power and energy you've got in an evening after you put in a full day of work, you exercised, you did a little bit of house cleaning, and before you cooked dinner and you got slightly drunk and you went to sleep. Chunky wins. All right. Gonna shut it down. End of the stream coming up right about now.